Late night bites with friends? Already hard to beat. That first too hot bite of fries you couldn't wait for, followed by ice cold Pepsi. Now that hits different. Suddenly, the energy kicks back in, the night goes longer, and the laughs don't stop. Because Pepsi brings out more flavor, more fun, and more of the moment. Food deserves Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi Zero Sugar today.
Amazon Health AI presents Painful Thoughts.
I can't stop scratching my downtown. Yeah, but I'm not itching to go downtown and tell a receptionist I'm here to talk about my downtown. Some things you'd rather type than say out loud.
There's no question too embarrassing for Amazon Health AI. Chat your symptoms and get virtual care 24/7. Healthcare just got less painful.
Hello, welcome to Unequal Sequel
Extra.
Yes, this is kind of extra. This is extra for a majority of listeners. Is extra.
Some of you have heard this already.
Yeah, some of you have heard what is about to happen already, but the planets align, kind of like the eclipse yesterday.
Ooh, nice.
Wow, I didn't even mean that.
Did you also know there was a meteor shower yesterday?
Yeah, did you stay up and see it?
I went out at midnight and looking for meteors, and I saw a couple.
Did you?
Yeah, I went to Woburn because I thought that's somewhere nice and dark.
Yeah, it is.
I went to a very dark field where I was a little bit scared, if I'm honest.
Were you by yourself?
No, I went with Susie.
Okay, good.
Because she's really into that starry stuff. I didn't know anything about it. So yeah, we went and saw meteors. I've never seen any before. But yeah,
did you
just little flashes in the sky.
Did you attempt to go to Dunstable Downs? Have you seen what chaos that happened there?
No, I didn't. Was it mad?
People just parked up in the middle of the road and left their cars and then blocked it for 3 hours.
Wowzers. Okay.
I've seen pictures of it. It looks chaotic.
Was that for the eclipse, yeah?
That was for the eclipse.
I didn't bother for the eclipse. I just did that at home.
Yeah, well, why would you?
Yeah, for the meteor shower at midnight. Then, yeah, we went out for that.
Okay, good chat. That's the kind of stuff the Another Slices. This is the extra stuff the Another Slices hasn't listened to.
Yeah, see, this is stuff for you.
This is the stuff everyone likes. Today we are releasing our Prequels Sessions chat with the great Nick Helm. Now, the reason we are doing that is because the planets aligned, the stars aligned, whatever, and Nick is releasing his new album today.
Yes.
Well, yes, today, the day this is out. He's up in Edinburgh doing some big old shows with releasing. You might have seen him at the weekend. He was on Sunday Brunch.
Nice.
Promoting it. His new album's called, he's doing 3 albums. You'll hear all about it in the Prequels Sessions chat. The first album's called Down. You can download it or buy it or CD on CD from his website, Nick Helm.
I'm getting me some physical media, baby.
Yeah. There's a CD and there's a vinyl. Also, the whole album is available on Bandcamp. If you want any of that stuff, go to Nick Helm on Instagram, click on his link tree option, or go to his website nickhelm.co.uk and you'll find it all there. It's great. If you like his previous albums, they're on Spotify. The albums are Hot and Heavy from 2013 and Nick Helm is Fucking Amazing from 2016. 2 albums that I really love and enjoy. Wings and One Man Mega Myth are particularly my favourite 2 songs from both those albums. I listen to them a lot. They're on my they're my favourite song playlists. His new song is great. I'm Gonna Fuck You All Night. Listen to it. It's free. You can listen to that one on Bandcamp to get the feel of the album.
Nice.
From our extra chat, you will discover why it took 10 years for this album to happen. It's, what would you say, Rich, about the last 10 years with Nick and his journey?
Been a roller coaster. Bless him. Yeah, it's been a ride. And what we should also say is just a bit of a trigger warning for folks on this episode. There are some discussions of suicidal thoughts and mental health. And if that's going to be something you don't want to listen to, then absolutely fair enough. Don't give that a listen. Turn it off now while you can. yeah, there will be some of those discussions.
But there are some sad stuff. There is some hard-hitting stuff. There is also plenty of laughs and joy.
100%.
We love talking to Nick whenever we get the chance. You can go back and listen to the prequels chat we had where we asked Nick his best, worst, and dream prequel. You can also go back even further and listen to Nick where we ask him his best, worst, and dream sequels.
Yeah, go relive the time that me and Dave watched the sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre at 6 a.m.
Yep, that's all fun. But we're basically doing this this release today to, help promote Nick's brilliant new album. It's free coming. You'll learn all about it. We love the man. We're so happy that he's happy and in a good place. We love his music. We love his comedy. He's going back to doing some more acting. He's been cast in a film called Employee of the Dead, which is crowdfunding at the moment.
Nice.
He's in the lead for that, so go check that out as well. I think that's all I'm going to say until the end. So here is the Prequel Sessions to Nick Helm. Enjoy! Well, thanks, Nick. Can we ask you some questions about your career and your comedy and your music? If you've got time.
Oh, God. Yeah, all right, yeah.
I know that sounds bad.
Yeah, you can.
Because you said at the beginning...
good questions.
Yeah. Because your Wings song I listen to daily.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck You Motherfucker quite often is one of my go-to songs. You said earlier you're in the studio again.
Yeah.
Are we expecting some more quality stuff?
Yeah. I did the photo shoot for my album yesterday. I did another photo shoot for it last year, but I had a big beard and I was and I've lost a bit of weight since then, and it took so long to get around to finishing off the album that I look completely different to how I did when I did the last shoot. So I did one yesterday, and we got it's a triple album. So I think there's at the moment there's 31 tracks. And I'm just finishing my last two. We're getting some guest stars on it. So Luke Morley from Thunder has done a few tracks on it, and Chris Helm from the Seahorses is doing a couple of tracks. The band Massive Wagons are going to do a track.
Nice.
But everything's basically, it's written now, but and then we're just sending out some people to do some bits and pieces on it. And yeah, I went up to Liverpool because I was doing Have a Word podcast in Liverpool yesterday, and there's a Scottish photographer that takes photos of me every time I'm up in Edinburgh. So I just said, do you want to meet halfway and do this emergency photo shoot? And I went up with a big IKEA bag full of costumes and props and shoes and stuff, so I could do loads of costume changes. And then we kind of hit on this idea which negated all of the stuff that I brought up with me. And this isn't a video, is it?
No.
I'll show you a photo of it, but you're not allowed to say out loud what it is, right? But the album's called Down and Dirty, and basically this is the album cover to one of the albums. I don't know if you can see this, but.
Oh yeah.
Right,
that's brilliant.
And so it's like we got the shot we wanted. We haven't done the album yet. We haven't. My graphic designer hasn't designed it all yet. But we got a bunch of photos that just work as a photo without having to do loads of Photoshop to them. And I'm just so happy with how the photo shoot went. It was sometimes you'll leave a shoot and you'll be I'm not sure we got it, and you'll have to compromise. But yesterday we kind of got exactly. It just hit up both of us at the same time. It's oh, what if we just did this? And then we just we threw our plan out the window and we ran with this idea. And yeah, we really, I'm really excited about getting the artwork done, because I've been thinking about it for years. And then the tracks. I'm still working out what the final track listings are, but I put everything in my SoundCloud in alphabetical order, and I listen to it from A down to W. And
right.
And there, it's about, I think it's about maybe 2 hours, maybe just over 2 hours, the whole thing. So I'm going to release a disc at a time. One disc is coming out in the summer. One disc is coming out maybe a month and a half later, and then the final one a month and a half later after that. So the first album's called Down, the second album is called Dirty, and then the bonus album is called and together it's Down and Dirty, which is sort of a sequel to Hot and Heavy, which was my first album.
Yeah.
But I listened to all the songs, and they're all so completely different from each other. There's some really kind of like rocky, like bangers that are in there, you know, like some proper like rock songs. And then there's a lot more like introspective stuff in there from over the last 10 years. Part of the reason it's taken so long to do is that I've struggled with mental health for a long time. And in 2015, I went through a breakup, and my brain kind of went fried. And my last album came out in 2016. So I basically got that together, released that. And then I had undiagnosed ADHD and bipolar, and I didn't realize because it was undiagnosed, but I was really struggling. And I managed to do like all of these shows, and I've been really lucky because I managed to do like, you know, at least a show every 2 years, if not every year. And that's like that includes kind of like fitting it around TV scheduling rather than a mental health problem, because I found that even when I'm really bad with my mental health, I can still, you know, get a show together and do a show. But the songs were very kind of much more introspective and from a darker place. And then I started coming out of my depression, and I started doing shows that were called stuff like the Super Fun Good Time Show. And the songs were really upbeat. And then I got to a point in my, with the record, which was like, I don't want the next record I release to be like really downbeat. I want it to be, you know, emblematic of how I feel right now. So I kind of delayed that. And then I wrote another bunch. And then it turns out that I've got 31 songs that I haven't released. And I want to draw a line under that part of my life. And so I'm releasing it all as one project over a series of months.
Yes.
And I think it's I'll be interested to see the way I work through music is that I write and record it under the not impression, but I kind of operate thinking that no one else other than me will ever listen to it.
That's how I write. Yeah.
And so
that's what we do with this podcast, basically.
Yeah.
Well, if you're not happy with it, then it doesn't matter if anyone else is, right? And so I am kind of really interested to see how people will receive it. But from my point of view, I'm really happy with the album. And I think if you like all the like stuff like Wings, there's stuff like that on there. And if you like sort of like stuff off my second album, which was a little bit more world music, then there's stuff there. And if you like the songs from Uncle, you know, there's a real mix of everything that I've done. And I think that some of it is really mature and some of it is really puerile. And I'm really excited. I literally can't wait to release it.
Brilliant.
Because I've just been sat on it for like almost 10 years, some of the songs. And I'm really proud of it. I think it's going to be good.
It's really nice to see you're happy, Nick. Just like you can tell.
I am. Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can really tell.
I am. Yeah, I'm really happy. I mean, especially if we kind of like the last time we kind of met up was during the pandemic. I was in a really.
You
bad
were still
place
brilliant. You were still one of our favourite ever guests, by the way, that last time.
Oh right, yeah, I was in a real bad place.
And I don't know. You opened doors for us. You're just saying we've had you on the podcast. Really helps.
Oh, great.
So we're always really appreciating. We're always supporting you, and you know.
Oh, I'm glad.
We're fans of your comedy and music and stuff, and just as you as general.
Oh, thank you for having me back on. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
Oh, you were like first on the list. Like people come on. We'll get Nick
great.
back.
Oh yeah, great. I love it. I love talking about films, but I'm in a really happy place at the moment, and I'm feeling really good. And,
are you going to write another comedy show? Or are you just going to do the music for a bit? Or...
I'm gonna promote the fuck out of this album to make as much money back on it as I possibly can. But,
good idea.
But I'm doing a poetry book. I've got a poetry book deal that as soon as I finish the album, I'm just gonna kind of like. put that together. I've kind of been working on it in the background, but I'm going to put that together. And when I put that together, I'm going to do a live poetry tour, but it will be comedy with poems, you know. So that'll say, I feel like I've got to a point now where I'm a middle-aged, straight white man who shouts at people all the time, and audiences don't like it as much as they used to. I kind of like I've reinvented myself. I've reinvented myself a few times, and it's kind of like I'm doing poetry again, which I started out doing, and it's kind of like brought out a different quality in the way I'm on stage. And it's still really funny and kind of like mean to the audience, but it's not as aggressive and shouty. And I've had like a few gigs recently where I've kind of been getting into, because of the meds that I'm on, it's kind of affected my energy on stage. I'd normally have to be in like a mad panic to kind of just get anything out of me. And I could improvise like a 2-hour show with like 5 notes on my hand, just because of like the ADHD. And now I'm on the meds, that's sort of really settled. And so my relationship to who I am on stage is different. And so I've had some really kind of like shit gigs this year. But I've sort of like found over the last few weeks, maybe the last couple of months, I've really kind of like found my groove again, and I'm really enjoying gigs again, and it's like, I think when it comes to medication and diagnoses and stuff like that, I think a lot of creative people are worried about like how it will affect them, you know, will it change me creatively? And it has changed me creatively, but I was operating under a level of stress and anxiety and depression, and that's how I got my stuff done. And firstly, if I was never funny again, but I was happy, I would pick happiness over my career as a stand-up. But secondly, some of these songs on this album, I've written, there was one song that I started in 2006, and I kept coming back to it on every project. And I finished it just before MacFest, so 5 weeks ago. And the same week I finished that, I wrote 3 other songs, 2 of them from scratch, and 1 of them I finished off. Oh, wow. And I've got to a point now where the meds have kicked in. I'm really looking after myself. I'm kind to myself. I eat healthily. I don't drink so much. I exercise, do all the stuff, all the boring stuff that you don't want to do because you think that that's bollocks.
We're doing the same. We're doing the boring stuff.
I enjoy running.
Well, I want to get into running. I want to, because I'm sort of like frustrated with the slowness that I'm getting all this weight off. But you know, so I'm doing all that stuff, and it's sort of like opened up a part of my brain that was gone for a long time, where it was like I could sit down and I could write a song in one go without having to come back to it year after year and drag all of it out of me. I can kind of, I just filmed a film. I made a little indie film that I wrapped on last Thursday. And I was one of the leads in that. And when I was the star in Uncle, I was in every scene, in every day. And if I wasn't in a scene, I was doing a music video in another studio. And I couldn't learn my lines in advance. I'd have to learn every single line while they were setting up the cameras. And it was so stressful, and I was good in Uncle, and it was a good performance.
You're fucking great in Uncle.
Yeah, but, it's still one of my favourite TV shows ever, Uncle. I love it.
But that whole performance was me just being able to snatch whatever I could, like as I was working under this level of anxiety, and pretty much all of my jobs been like that. And this last film job, you know, I was really super prepared. I knew what I was doing. I was able to line run with some of the other actors so that they could kind of like, you know, get up to speed themselves. And you know, it was my favourite bit of acting that I've ever done, because
when's that out?
I think it's going to be soon, because they're trying to get into all the festivals. It's weird. It's really weird. I mean, I was really happy with my acting, but the script is bonkers, and it you know, who knows what it's going to be like. But I think it could be great, but I think that it is definitely going to be really like interesting.
Cool.
But it was one of my favourite ever jobs, and so I've just got to this point where my brain is working. I'm firing on all cylinders at the moment. Creatively, I am different, but I also think that I've found other ways of being creative that are just the easiest and the best ways I've ever been. So if there's anyone out there listening and they're thinking and they're creative and they think that they need to use their depression as kind of like that's their thing in order to get stuff done, I think that that's how I felt. And I'm the happiest I've ever been now, and I'm the most creative I've ever been.
That's amazing.
And I just can't wait to get stuck into all of my projects now. So it's great.
Yes.
That's fantastic. That really is fantastic. It's really nice to hear that, because one, I wish you the best anyway, but my son's just started taking ADHD meds as well. And I was a little bit worried about it. Like, how's it going to affect his personality and stuff? And am I doing the right thing by putting him on medication when he's only 11? But just hearing that from you, like, I think that's, it really helps.
Well,
really
I look back at school, and it was like, I was terrible at languages, and I was terrible at maths, and I was terrible at science and anything that needed revision. And I was absolutely fucking incredible at art, but I couldn't do any of the coursework, so I got low grades. I was good at drama, but I was bad at learning lines, and I've had a real chip on my shoulder, stigma about it. It's really got in the way of kind of opportunities that I've taken for myself, and when I got diagnosed a couple of years ago with bipolar and ADHD, it's not. I think a lot of people that are cynical about it think that, they're just using it as an excuse. It's nothing to do with you, right?
No.
It's about looking back on your own life and making sense out of things that you've perceived as failures, right? And there's so many opportunities that I've wasted and that I've thrown away, and that I haven't followed up on that email, or I haven't written that treatment for that sitcom that I pitched at BBC or whatever. You just let all these opportunities float away, and like being on set and being terrible with my lines and just like really struggling. And then when you have the diagnosis, it's like, A, it helps you make sense of your life, and B, it helps you put kind of like safeguards in for the future. So that, I don't know how it affects your son because he's so young. And everyone's different. But what I would say is that my family, we've always, we've always been butting heads with each other. There's four of us, my mum and my dad, me and my sister, and we always butt heads with each other, and no one really seems to see eye to eye. And I think I say as a joke, but I mean it as well. I think we've all got mental health problems, and none of them are compatible with each other. Yeah. But since I've kind of taken my pills, I'm not part of the problem anymore. And I'm so much more relaxed. And I used to dread going back at Christmas because the anxiety was through the roof. I just knew it was going to kick off every year. Yeah. And now I can't wait to see my family every week. And I've got a niece that I go back to. I love going back and cooking for my mum and dad and just chatting to them and hanging out. Me and my sister's relationship is so much better than it is. We've always been like siblings that are kind of like, competing against each other, I suppose. But now it's just sort of like, I just love my family so much, and I love hanging out with them, and I love spending time with them. And if you told me that maybe even a year ago, I wouldn't have believed you. Right?
That's incredible.
And I'm a better friend. I'm a better brother. I'm a better son. I'm an amazing uncle. I'm a better employee. I'm a better creative. Yeah. I'm a better artist. It's brought out all the best in me, and this is, so like, I don't mean to just like go wang off on one for like.
no, go for it. That's what we're here for.
Talks about this longer than the Jaws prequel. But you did open up a can of worms, and I'm addressing it. But like, if there is anyone that is listening, and you're scared about getting help, and you're scared about trying meds, I am an advocate for it, and I think that it's changed my life for the better. There are pros and cons, but overall, my life is significantly better now that I've got into the flow of taking my meds every day, making sure that I pre-order them before I run out, and I'm on top of all of that stuff, and now I'm great.
When you got diagnosed, was it like a weight off your shoulders kind of thing? Did it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I was diagnosed with depression my whole life. They gave me antidepressants that made me suicidal, and they made me much, much, much worse. And I just was like, well, I'm untreatable. And then everyone was getting ADHD. I thought what I had complex PTSD, which is PTSD, but it's either called complex PTSD or childhood PTSD, where basically you can't forgive yourself. I think I had a bad experience when I was younger, which got triggered about 10 years ago. And then that was like the beginning of my mental decline. And so I was doing all this research into CPTSD, and I was like, that is definitely what I've got. I cannot forgive myself for anything that I've ever done. I beat myself up all the time. I blame myself. If I have an argument with someone, I'll take their side. I still remember being mean to a kid when I was 6 at school, and I still beat myself up about being a horrible cunt of a human because of stuff that I did when I was a child, and they roll around in my head like trainers in a tumble dryer is what I say, and then on top of that, there is my house is it was like an assault course where I just leave stuff and I wouldn't tidy it away. And so I'd be stepping over stuff. And, I've got an assault course on my stairs of all the stuff that I've piled up on my stairs. Everything's piled everywhere. And there's kind of my sense of humor. I was kind of I didn't realize how I was perceived in not necessarily on stage, but off stage. Didn't know how I was being perceived, and I've destroyed a lot of friendships, and I've destroyed a lot of relationships, and I've made loads of bad decisions, and I'm addicted to lots of stuff. I'm not an alcoholic, but if I can be addicted to alcohol, and if I'm not addicted to alcohol, it will be weed, or it will be food, or sex, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? And it's if it's not one thing, if I'm I'm not going to drink now, then I'll end up chain smoking. And so you just think you're mental. You think you're mental, and you're fucked up, and you're unlovable, and you're the worst human being alive. You're a terrible cunt. And I went in for, I went on the NHS. It took me ages on the NHS, and so I never really got anywhere. And then eventually a friend gave me a number for their psychiatrist. And the other thing is, if you're struggling, talk to everyone about it. Yeah. I know it feels like, it's a lot to put on other people, but you can't suffer in silence because you can go really downhill when you're on your own like that. So you never know who's going to help you. It might be the first person that you ask, it might be the second person you ask, and sometimes it's the ninth person you ask. And me talking about it on stage really helped because people would come up to me afterwards and they go, "This is what's wrong with you, Nick." And it wasn't always right, but I had a friend that came to see me, and they gave me the number for a psychiatrist, and I got in contact. I think I had a 1-hour appointment. It cost 450 quid, which is less than a holiday that you might take to cheer yourself up, or it's less than a TV, right? And the thing about going on holiday to cheer yourself up is it's still you, right? And I've been to some amazing places with depression, and I haven't enjoyed it, right? And so I spent, I think it was about 450 quid, and I spent 450 quid on this thing. And at the end of it, I fully expected him to say that I had complex PTSD. That's what I went in assuming I had. And he said, "You got bipolar, Nick," right? So they put me on bipolar meds. That was at the beginning of 2023. They put me on bipolar meds. That got rid of the depression.
Yeah.
And a lot of I had intrusive thoughts that I would say out loud. At my worst during the pandemic, I would say, "I'm going to kill myself" every 5 seconds of every waking hour that I was awake. I developed a twitch where I tried to shake it out of my head so that I wasn't saying it in front of people, right? And I started taking the meds and for bipolar, and I think it was the bipolar maybe. The bipolar cleared up the depression, but I still had brain fog and I still had intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
And so after a year of doing the bipolar stuff, I went back to the doctor and I said, look, I'm still getting intrusive thoughts. I'm not thinking of acting on it, but I'm still getting them. And I'm still got like brain fog. I can't concentrate on anything. And so he reevaluated me at the end of the year, and it wasn't 450 quid. I think it was a top up fee. And he said, yeah, you've also got ADHD. And I was like, oh, fuck's sake, I didn't want that one. But then I started taking the meds for that. And as I would say, within 20 minutes of me taking my first ADHD pill, I was able to like focus on stuff, and I could see that my flat was a mess. And I'd like started tidying stuff away and then looking after myself. Brilliant. And you know, it's kind of, it's magic, but I wouldn't have got there. I wouldn't have got there by myself. People helped me. I had friends that really kind of like would come over and they had to look after me, you know?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't look after myself. And, you know, and you go through a patch where you think, I will never, ever experience happiness again. I will never, ever feel like I'm anything other than a failure. I will never, you know, my life is over. I thought my life was over at 42. And now I'm 45, and this is not just the happiest I've been in years; it's the happiest I have ever been.
Me too.
And it's the strongest I've ever been, and you know, it's great.
It's so amazingly similar because I've been through exactly the same.
Yeah.
42, I was literally, it was Christmas time, and I was literally thinking, right, I'm just going to get through Christmas and then I'm going to end it, basically. Yeah. That was my thinking. And one of the stupidest thing ever stopped me doing it is I went to the cinema and I watched Wonka in the cinema. I came out of that and I was like, I love that so much. I'm going to stick around.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
And that was what. And then I went to therapy, and I've been getting therapy, and literally stopped getting therapy. My therapy sort of sessions ended like last month.
Yeah.
When I had the conversation with a therapist, and he's like, I think we're done. I think I don't think we need to be seeing each other quite, all this time anymore.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm genuinely the happiest I've ever been. Ever. Yeah. I really am. And I'm 45 as well, exactly the same age.
Yeah.
I'm about to turn 42.
Exactly the same. Yeah.
You're about to turn 42?
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be a bad year, mate. It's going to be a bad year.
You'll get through it, mate. We'll do it together.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, exactly the same.
I think the lesson is though, that it I genuinely think it gets better as you go, and the more you understand yourself, and the more you kind of take responsibility. There's very little satisfaction and joy that can be had from spending a life blaming other people for everything. And when you take responsibility and you take stock of yourself, and you're just like, this is who I am, this is who I want to be. There's like a sense of not like it's not like maybe a sense of achievement is the wrong thing, but I feel like I've really grown, and I feel like I've become the person that I always wanted to be.
Yeah,
and I think that thinking that it's all over at the age of 42 or 43, and that every year after this is going to be a slow decline to death, or quite a speedy decline to death it was. I was in such bad shape. And then to be like only a couple of years later, to just be happier beyond all of your imagination.
Yeah.
I like whatever version of happiness I thought I wanted. It wasn't this. This is better than anything that I thought this is better than anything that I've ever had, and anything that I ever imagined. So it's great.
I love that.
And well done, Rich.
It's really nice to hear.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I did much, really.
It's
I've got
Chalamet.
dragged through it.
You bought that ticket. You bought that.
Yeah.
You bought that golden ticket, didn't you, Rich?
It's all Timothée Chalamet's fault. Like, that's it.
Here's
Well,
a
it doesn't.
wonderful one.
You don't know what's going to spark it. Do you know what I mean?
No,
But you know,
it's it's great. It's weird, and but I do joke about that. But genuinely, it was genuinely a revelation moment. I had a little cry in the cinema, and then thought, do you know what? I should probably sort this out rather than doing something silly.
but part of it is not realizing that you deserve it.
Yeah.
That's the thing that you said that really rings true. Is that's what I would do. Is I would beat myself up about every single little thing that I'd ever done in my whole life. And I'd feel guilty about everything, and I would never move on, and I would feel like I was a terrible human. Like, everything I would do, I felt like I was a bad person. And anytime that anything bad happened, I feel like, well, I deserve that because I'm a bad person, you know? And now I feel like I'm not, actually. I quite like me, you know?
Yeah.
I think
That's it.
I'm all right.
That's absolutely it. Like, I'll look at myself in the mirror every so often, and I'll give myself a little wink, and it's like, and it's kind of like, yeah, I like that guy, you know. And people say, oh, it's important to forgive yourself, but like, I've tried to forgive myself loads, you know, and it doesn't work. You can't just say, I forgive myself. You know, you can't just do that. But what there is a point. You know, is where you get to a point where it's not that you've forgiven yourself and you've let it go. It's that you don't think about those things anymore. And then it's like when I tell you, there was a kid that I wasn't nice to when I was 6.
Yeah.
I'm remembering that, right? But I'm not beating myself up about it every single day. You know, he'd pop into my head like a few times a week for like the whole time. So it's like, you can forgive yourself. You go, Nick, you were 6, forgive yourself, right? But you can't. And then there's a point where you think, I'll never let go of this. And then there's a point where you stop thinking about it, and then it's a memory, and you're not reliving it. And it's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I think that's probably the best conversation we've ever had.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's see the toilet.
Yeah, right. Well, I'll show you the toilet. Do you want to wrap up the show, or do you want to see?
That's what
we do a little outro and stuff. We'll do that.
Well, thank you very much for that conversation.
Is there anything other than the music? Is there anything you want us to talk about, Nick? Is there anything you want us to promote in the intro or outro or anything?
No. Well, what am I doing? I'm doing. Follow me on the Nick Helm. And on Instagram, and I'll be promoting my album and then any gigs that I've got coming up.
Yeah,
brilliant.
And any like supporting gigs. The aim is that I'm going to do. I'm doing 3 dates in Edinburgh. So I'm doing. Hang on, close your eyes.
I actually am closing my eyes.
Yeah, good. Right. Okay. So I'm doing the 13th, 14th, and 15th in Edinburgh as an album launch. Oh, you can open your eyes, guys. Sorry.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So I'm doing the 13th, 14th, and 15th of August in Edinburgh as an album launch. I'm doing the 16th. I'm doing an hour of poetry for Edinburgh. The album is going to be coming out in drips and drabs. It's going to come out in 3 solid releases between summer and autumn, and then I'm going to release. Then I'm going to be working on my poetry book, and then I'm going to be doing some sort of poetry tour next year. But it'll be a stand-up tour with poetry. But
amazing.
Yeah, I think that's enough to be getting on with for now.
Yeah, you sound busy.
But also, when that's all done, then I can start writing my movie, which I've been putting off for too long. Anyway.
Those were the prequel sessions for Nick Helm.
Yes.
Hope you enjoyed that. We thought it was a lovely chat, and it was so good that we kind of needed everyone to hear it.
I think there's some really important stuff in there for people to hear about mental health.
Yes,
you know,
definitely.
What you and him have gone through in the last few years, and how, you know, it's not all bad and stuff. But
definitely not. It's not. Yeah, I mean, it's bad at the time, but it's not always bad. It's not bad forever.
Yeah.
You know, like, but it's like anything. You get through it, right? It's like, and if you're lucky, it's like a broken leg, and eventually your leg gets fixed, and it's just as good as it was before. I guess is the way I think about it. But
we think mental health is very important.
Yes, we do.
And talking to people. So if you're there alone, you're not alone.
You're not alone. There are places that can help you. I do suggest Samaritans if you want to speak to someone. They have a free helpline that you can call, and they also have a free text service. If you don't want to talk to someone, if you can't get the words out of your mouth, I struggle with that massively. Like just getting the words out, then you can message them on like WhatsApp and stuff, and a human on the other end, it's not AI or anything like that, will actually message you back, and you can talk to them. So if you're struggling, just reach out. Reach out to us. Reach out to me. Like send us a WhatsApp if you're struggling. I'll talk to you. Not a WhatsApp, a Instagram. You know what I mean? Anything, a message on any social medias, whatever you want.
Yes.
You know, reach out, and there's always someone there. Yeah.
Rich is better at replying.
I'm not a mental health professional by any stretch, but I can point you in the right direction of one or a few.
Exactly. So that's our message there. Thank you to Nick for coming on and being so open with us about his last 10 years. It's a wonderful story, and we love seeing him happy and healthy, and we hope he's got many more years of doing things that he's loved and we love, and we hope the album goes down very well. I cannot wait to listen to it. So, good luck, Nick. We love you, mate. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say on this one, I think. I don't have to do the big splur. Do you want to say anything?
No. I mean, do join us. If you like this sequel session and you're inspired to listen to some more, then you can find them all over on anotherslice.com/unequal sequel. So it's just $2.99 a month to join our subscription service. It isn't a lot, but it does help us pay the tax bill. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind, helping us out paying the tax man, that would be lovely. But yeah, get yourself over anotherslice.com/unequal sequel. Join us there for $2.99 a month, and you'll get loads of sequel sessions like this one, but you also get Disenfranchised and Box Set Mentality. I'm not going to try and sell this to you. It's just good. It's $2.99. You get 3 extra things. It's less than £1 a thing. Go enjoy it.
Another Slicers, to replay your faith, we are going to record something extra.
We are, yes. Yeah, because this was supposed to be special for you, and we've let everyone listen to it because we thought they needed to. So me and Dave are going to do something special and put that on another slice.
We were about to record it, but again, it's a fucking heat wave, and both our offices are like...
Oh my God, it's 40 degrees in my office currently. It's so fucking hot.
We'll do that when it's cooled down a bit. But thank you for your continued support. We love and appreciate you. It is a goodbye from me. Bye-bye. And a goodbye from him.
Bye.
See you on the next one. 6 this one. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
This episode is brought to you by ChatGPT. Hey, it's Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast. Have you guys heard about ChatGPT work? It's the new way to use ChatGPT for bigger multi-step projects. And when you need more than just answers, give ChatGPT work access to your apps and files, and it can create real work documents like spreadsheets, slides, and structured reports. Get started at chatgpt.com by selecting work mode, available on Plus and Pro plans.